Special delivery is a tale of three whys. Why does it exist? Why did it fail? And why does it revolve around a monkey? Don't worry, we'll cover all three today and even see about fixing up some of Special Delivery's problems. Before I get into the video, if this is something you enjoy, please check out my channel. I have a playlist full of these videos ready for your enjoyment. If you want, you can also subscribe. Up to you, it may not help you, but it will help me greatly. So please, give it a thought. Now I have to be completely honest. Of all the game modes I'll cover, this has to be the one that people will go, wait, that was in the game? Being a short-lived game mode with two whole official maps, one of them being a reskin, there isn't really much of a reason to hop into a match these days. Though, let's be honest, it's more like playing the waiting game than it is actually playing a game. But let's clear things up by explaining where this game mode came from and when it came out. Back in 2012, the world was a different place. The 2012 Obama v. Romney election was going strong. The Costa Concordia was sitting at the bottom of the ocean, and the Team Fortress 2 team released one of the biggest Team Fortress 2 class updates in history, Pyromania. Built up to and released alongside the Meet the Pyro short, Pyromania boasted a wide variety of content including 8 weapons, 11 achievements, hats, and cosmetics, and an ARG that would make any nerd drool. Arguably the second most iconic free-to-play hat in existence, and a single map called Doomsday. But this was no ordinary map. It was shipped as the launch platform that would rocket Monkey Knot, Poopy Joe, and the game mode itself into mass popularity. I only wish I had been around to experience it. Those were the days.
Gentlemen, with our help, Poopy Joe will ride this rocket to the stars! Go, Poopy Joe! Soar! Kill Vladimir Bananas!
Doomsday being the rocket launch site for Monkey Knot Poopy Joe, the map consists of 2 teams that must fight for the honor of delivering the fuel to the rocket first in order to send Poopy Joe to the stars and send Vladimir Bananas back to hell where he belongs. Doomsday itself is a small map with 2 team spawn points on the opposite sides of the map, opening into the main rocket launch pad area. To the right, through a mine tunnel and/or sewer system, is the location of the highly sought-after material known as Australium, which is to be used to fuel the rocket. Now, the map itself is very open, but that means it has several disadvantageous sightlines and heights which allow for snipers and engineers to cover a vast area with little room for cover and/or denial zones. This is not helped by the fact that the main capture elevator, which acts the same as the high tower's final elevator, is completely covered by a cliff face that can be covered by a single level 3 sentry gun. The whole other issue that has already been mentioned, it's the same as high tower's elevator. For a game mode designed around one elevator that can be reset after a few seconds of inactivity, can cause matches to become stalemates and lose lots of progress in a short amount of time. For my experiences playing this map, it was either a steamroll or a stalemate. A classic problem with this map is everyone's favorite no round timer. So with the sensitivity of the main capture mechanism, the map itself can feel like an hour-long round of high tower, without any of the things that make high tower fun to play, which isn't saying much because I hate high tower. On a slightly lighter note, the game mode's map selection nor Doomsday received much love until 2014.
Welcome and happy Halloween, everyone. So we're here on the Halloween map, and it looks like there's already a meta, and that is to just let the other team win. Like, whoever picks up the intelligence, bring it to Marasmus the Beefcake, and that unlocks the actual fun bumper car level that everyone just wants to play. So, it's not really too much Doomsday going on here.
When the Carnival of Carnage alongside the Scream Fortress 2014 update was released, boasting a fresh haunted aesthetic and a massive hammer with spells and pumpkin bombs, it kept the spirit of Special Delivery alive and on effectively life support. as once the players deliver the flag to the elevator, they'll be transported to one of 3 areas, all involving bumper cars, one being falling platforms, and another one being a race to collect 200 ducks, and the last being bumper car soccer. The map also included various curses inflicted across the entire server by Merasmus, and can make for some really fun matchups, and it honestly fixed a whole lot of issues in the game mode as a whole. Speaking of which...
Oh no. Poopy Joe. Taken too soon.
Anyways, as we all know, the game mode itself revolves around taking the Australium, or in this case, the flag, across the map to the elevator or a point where the player must descend while under heavy fire and contact from the enemy. Once the player reaches the top of the elevator, there is usually a small animation that opens up the hatch, allowing the player to insert the flag and end the round. It's a lot like a capture the flag map, with only one flag that each team must fight over. And the lack of the round timer is really prevalent in all of these maps that I've played, and the game's maps in general rely on a massive battle with 2 full teams to actually work reliably and effectively. Now this wasn't that big of an issue back in the day, during the times of quick play, but now after Meet Your Match, this is really tough, as Special Delivery was siphoned into the alternate game modes tab, though in its quick play infancy it was quite popular and boasted a good number of players. The problem I had with it was the lack of replayability. The actual matches themselves, if you can find any, are incredibly dull. The maps do not have a lot of flanking routes, so you're not going to be able to be heading back and forth, trying to get the Australium from point A to point B. And it doesn't help that, regardless of the team that you picked, you have to head to the same areas every single match. Coupled with the sightlines and engineer air superiority and aerial denial, any matchup you will find generally will become a slog unless you play the Halloween maps that is seasonal, and is completely subjective on whether you think the minigames are worth playing. Either way, the game mode itself lends itself to becoming an alternate deathmatch mode, but the map it boasts lacks the charm, simplicity, and also some things necessary for deathmatch-oriented maps to have, which leaves Special Delivery to be a jack of all trades and master of none. And it's not surprising that the player numbers are practically 0 for community servers and Valve servers alike. It's very clear why people stopped being interested in the game mode, which is a tiny bit sad because the lore put into the map to prop up its importance was actually staggering. There's a stupid amount of lore for this map, way too much, and it's really fun to read. Which is a shame because it flies under the radar for most people. There are extensive maps that are created for Special Delivery on the Steam Workshop, some better than others. Toucan being my personal favorite that I have actually played on, that wipes away most of my personal grievances I have with the current selection of Special Delivery maps. But if you're really looking to try it out for yourself, your best bet would be playing on Amalcotopia or a server that disables Engineer and just praying that you get a match. That being said, it's diet comp, so you're never really going to get a good matchup to begin with. That being said, what can we do to make this game mode better? Well, in this case, I normally try to fix this game mode and take all this stuff with a grain of salt because I'm just some guy and not a game developer. I know nothing about game design. I just play the game. Some personal things I'd change. These are personal gripes for me. Is mainly... I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this game mode can be fixed. Now, hear me out. My main problem is how the game mode treats the delivery item itself. It's an afterthought. In both maps, the area is so far separated from the rest of the map, it defeats the purpose. Integrating the areas would do the game mode much better, but Toucan's design choices are pretty nice, but it still doesn't feel like a right fit. One fundamental change would be for an alternate game end condition, like, I don't know, a round timer, on top of having more environmental elements like saws, pits, and other obstacles, which could aid in the lack of challenge that this whole game mode has as a whole. If a fast class like the Scout rushes the intel, then the round's over, and it makes the mode more challenging for both teams. So, to summarize why I think this game mode failed, I think it's obvious, but I'll go over it anyways. This game mode is very, very simple, but it's an amalgamation of different game modes, and it doesn't do them very well. It's a neat concept, but there isn't enough challenge or gravitas to make it stand out. From what I've seen from suggestions on how to fix special delivery, they just want to play player destruction, which brings me to my final point. Special delivery only incentivizes those who try to capture the objective. In a mode like this, you should be forced to focus on the objective, otherwise the round will never end. That's why it doesn't get maps anymore. It's not challenging enough nor invites enough teamwork to make a fun match for everyone. And it's not fun enough as a whole to warrant everyone's attention, especially when the maps don't aid in the game mode design, which is why something a lot better took its place. In my opinion, player destruction is the better version of special delivery, and to a larger extent arena mode, which will get its own video. I'll talk about player destruction as a whole and how it's amazing. But anyways, it incentivizes and encourages all players on the team, regardless of skill level, to participate. Whether it's collecting points, killing players, or supporting pushes, every bit helps push the goal forward, especially since all of the maps usually aid in that aspect and force you to participate in one way or another. So if you're looking for a trip down memory lane with special delivery, I mean, you're more than welcome to, but just know that some things need to fail for others to improve upon and succeed. That's the point of this series, to show what could cause a game mode to fail and potential ways that could fix it, or if it's already been fixed, or if it's unfixable. In this case, I'd say something a lot better took its place. Good ideas are the future for TF2, and I feel like a game with like player destruction fulfills several of these forgotten game modes rules very well, and is a very good game mode, very fun to play, and is very popular. So just give that a think. But you're more than welcome to let me know what you think about this game, or if you have any ideas on how to fix this game mode, please let me know in the comments. I read every single one of them, and I'd love to hear from you. Hello everyone, it's me again. Thank you so much for watching. If you are a returning Forgotten Game Modes connoisseur, thanks for sticking with me. It's been a wild ride, and in my all honesty, I want to make these as best as they can be without putting unneeded stress on my life. So I am very sorry for having this taking this so long. It's been too long. For context, I work 2 jobs, 3 if you count YouTube, and it's very, very tiring. And I'm trying to clear out my video backlog and get some content out before my life gets even busier this fall with school. So if you have any ideas at all, I mean, please let me know. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.